Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Right, good evening and welcome. We have just started Monday Run Club. It is the 5th of April 2021 and we have 9 kilometres of running. Oh, Facebook went off, says Tina. Oh no, why has Facebook gone off? Well, that's a disaster. Okay, I'll have to try and reload it then. You'll have to bear with me. Hello Tina Beard, hello Steve Milne, hello Paul Cottrell, who was watching on Facebook and now Facebook seems to have disappeared. So let me go and get my laptop and I will fix it. It'll only take me a couple of minutes. Victoria can talk to you while I do that.
Hello, happy Monday. when Stephen comes back, I'm wondering how long it's going to take him before he mentions his run he did earlier today. Do you think it will take him that long? 5 seconds. Already told him nobody's interested.
Have you been talking about me while I've been away? Right, Facebook is back on, so if you want to go and join Facebook chat, that's perfectly fine. Let me just sort it all out here. There we go. Right, okay, so we're back on Facebook. We are on YouTube and we're on Twitch as well, so hello. Tina Beard says, my lovely collie had an accident an hour ago. I'm watching while cuddling him. He's feeling very sorry for himself. Oh, no. Steve Milne, hi everyone, Facebook is back. Good. Paul Cottrell, I usually watch on YouTube, on TV and chat on Facebook on my phone. Ah, okay. Yeah, Facebook is better quality than... YouTube is better quality than Facebook. But then Twitch is better quality than all of those. So, hello, welcome to Monday Run Club. We've finally got going. Victoria is running Monday Run Club, which is usually a progressive run. So we are going through the warm-up at the moment. Victoria's in Group B tonight. So who else have we got in Group B? Carol Rushworth and... it's not Kim Salt, it's N Salt in Group B there. Karen Abbott is in Group D. Who have we got in Group A? Nobody I recognise in Group A, actually. Thomas and Johnson and Nola from Germany in Group A. And who's that? Who's the other person? Fabian. Is that Fabian? Fabian from France in Group A. And Julien from France in Group B as well. Tina Beard says, we are all about Victoria tonight. Yes, exactly. We are indeed. So, Victoria thinks her avatar is drunk, wandering all over the road today. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you've had a good Easter. If you've got anything you want to comment on about your Easter celebrations, then do please say hello. And Sarah says, hello. Embarrassed to say I'm just watching again, but nice to be here. Yeah, come on, Sarah. Pull your finger out. When are you going to actually jump on the treadmill and run with us? It's good to have you, whether you're running or whether you're just watching. It's perfectly fine just to watch. I am just watching tonight. Ryan Downey, thanks for the ride on.
Ride on!
So Victoria says, why am I just watching? I thought we were all about Victoria tonight. We're not talking about me today, although I have run already today. Run and live streamed already today. Mark Mansueto says hello. Hello, Mark. Mark ran with us on Friday, I think, or was it Saturday? Still going through the warm-up, 10.3 kilometres an hour now, and I think we're in the warm-up still, are we? Yes, oh yes we are, I can see it there. Danny Prince says, my run treadmill getting delivered tomorrow. Yes, so he says, if you up the incline on the treadmill, does Zwift record it for Strava? Yes, it does. Yes, it absolutely does. That's one of the great things about the MyRun, is that you don't have to do anything. If you up the incline on the treadmill, it is automatically recorded as increased incline on Zwift and on Strava. Yeah, the number on the treadmill corresponds with percentage. So a 1 on the MyRun treadmill is 1%. 12, which is the highest it can go, so 12 on the MyRun treadmill is 12% incline. So for every kilometre you run, if it's at 12%, you'll get 120 metres elevation. And that's always exactly right. Which is a little different to the Noble Pro, which is not quite right yet. We're still working on exactly what the differences are. Rob Harrison says, Stephen, are you running later this evening? No, I've got the evening off because of my historic achievements this morning. So no, I've got the night off tonight. We've stuck Victoria on the treadmill, and that is it for our streaming tonight. So Victoria's going to do Monday Run Club, and I will have a rest. So this morning, I don't know if any of you saw on Strava, or we did a live stream as well, but it was on a different Facebook page. The organisation was Run Base Events, and we were at the South of England Showground. So if you've ever heard of this South of England show, that comes from a place called Ardingly. Right, Tina Beard. I think Tina Beard is already commenting on how long it took me to mention my run this morning. And right, so whilst I was away, everybody, you obviously were plotting how long would it take Stephen to mention his PB this morning. And yeah, it was longer than 5 seconds, but not longer than 5 minutes. I don't know. I was quite excited I was quite excited. So PB again, PB in October, and PB this morning, the 5k. So Victoria's saying talk about your placing. We're just talking about how interesting it is that, in general, most people would say that a decent time for 5 kilometres is anything under 30 minutes. And for most good club runners, you might say under 20 minutes is a decent time for 5k. But the minimum requirement for this race, so if you wanted to do the race today that I did, there were a few different races, but the minimum requirement was 25 minutes for 5k. If you were under that, you could do this race. So there were 5 races. There was an elite race, men's race and women's race. Then there was race 3, race 4 and race 5. And so carrying on from that. So you might think that under 20 minutes is a decent time for 5k. So my PB was 18 minutes and 30 seconds. So you might think that's a good time. But actually, I was in race 4 of 5. So there were 3 races ahead of me, all with faster runners in. The winning time this morning was 14 minutes and 5 seconds. 14 minutes and 5 seconds for 5k. That was the winning time, the fastest time of the entire day. So that is, and my time was 18 minutes and 16 seconds. So it's over 4 minutes faster than me. So that puts me, essentially, today's race, I was pretty much at the back of the pack, towards the back of the pack, with a time of 18 minutes 16 seconds. I was 10th in my age category, yeah. And I was yes. So in my particular race, I was 120th out of 200 and something, was I? Or was I 56th out of 120? I can't remember. But essentially what I'm saying is, You might think my time was quite good, but actually, in the grand scheme of today's race, I was towards the back of the pack. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Okay, so when I ran my marathon in December, I was second in my age category. Today, I was 10th in my age category. So there were 9 50-year-olds, or 9 people over 50 who were faster than me today. That's mad, isn't it? Yeah, Kim Salt. Kim Salt says a lot of fast people, but you know, you can only do a PB, can't you? Anyway, right, so it was more than 5 seconds before I started talking about my own running. Let's concentrate on Victoria now. We've got 7 kilometres to go of Monday Run Club, and Victoria is in the first kilometre of, now just gone up to the second kilometre now, of the main part of the run. She's 3 kilometres in total. Oh no, you're 2 kilometres. Hang on a minute. Oh yes, 2 kilometres in total. Just started the 3rd kilometre. Tyler, yeah, I reckon I can get into the 17s. I think I can. I just need some more, yes, like you say, specific 5k training. I think you're right. That would be the next goal, I think, is to do some more interval training. Specific to 5k and try and get under 18. But the thing is, we've got some big long ultra races coming in over the summer, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I did more speed training last year. Right, so we are basically Monday Run Club is a slow increase of pace. So Group B tonight, we started at 10.4 kilometres per hour. We're now at 10.7, and every kilometre that we run now, we just get faster. So the next one will be 11 kilometres now. We're running past the Italian village, and Victoria has the pace spot right in front of her. So Victoria and Carol's just ahead, are keeping to pace. Thank you, Mark. Rob Harrison says, anyway, back to Victoria's running. Thank you, Tina, as well, and Paul Cottrell. Victoria's getting ride-ons. Redman, thank you very much.
Ride on!
And hello to Camera 2. So if you've done anything exciting over Easter, do give us a shout. Tell us what you've done. If you've run any long distances or any fast short distances, if you've been running on Zwift or outdoors, let us know. If you've eaten too much chocolate, let us know about that as well. Victoria, how is the run feeling?
Absolutely fine, thank you.
She's going fine at the moment. She probably could have done Group A, to be honest with her. Yeah, you could have done. Right, Victoria thinks she couldn't have done Group A. Buenaventura, hello, film my run. Family regards from Aberdeen. So Ace Ventura is up on dry land in Aberdeen. So he's not on an oil rig at the moment, which is good news. He says, still missing you guys. Well, we'll see you back there soon. Have you on the video 5k as soon as you're back, buddy.
Nice.
Heading over the sand flats to the volcano. Kim Salt says, why is her avatar weaving? Too much chocolate. Yes, too much chocolate and too much alcohol. Or maybe a combination of liqueur chocolate. Yeah, liqueur chocolates. Too many liqueur chocolates. And in all seriousness, what this is, we're pretty sure, is it's to do with the way that cycling works. And how the cyclists cycle in bunches and weave around each other and move to avoid each other. So the same is true in running. The runners are moving around to avoid each other, although it does look like Victoria's avatar is kind of running around avoiding no one and wobbling all over the road. But it might also be, you never know, there may also be events going on that we can't see, where cyclists or runners are moving past Victoria and we actually can't see them. Elsa and Ellis have come outside to play, so they're in the garden if you see them playing behind you. Jonathan Cost says, I've just watched A Long Way Up recently, which is one of those, is that one of those series with Ewan McGregor? Long Way Up, okay. And apparently there is a town in Central America called Buenaventura. Well, there you go. Well, it just must be the opposite one's a long way down. Right. Everyone is now right. Carol is pointing out my pigtails. Look at the back. Because right, listen, I have been sticking rigidly to the rules, and I have not had my hair cut in months and months. So this little pigtail at the back here is as a result of my hair popping out the back of my cap because it's so long. So yeah, the 12th of April is now official. Shops will open and I can get my hair cut. There will be long queues outside the local hairdressers. Yeah, Jonathan Cost says it. Yes, it was a Ewan and Charlie show. So the long way up, not the long way down. Oh, right. Victoria says now she thinks she has seen that. Yes. Right, up to 11 kilometres an hour now for the next kilometre. So Victoria has done 3 kilometres. Carol Rushworth is still just up ahead. I think it's Karen Abbott is about a minute behind in Group D. We've also got Group A just up ahead there, 2 minutes up. Butler is in Group B with us, and N Salt. N Salt, that's not a relation to you, Kim. It's not your other half or relation of one of yours, or is it just a random salt? Jeff Partridge says, nothing in the rules to say you can't have your hair cut. It's just that the barbers are closed. Yeah, but I don't trust my wife to cut my hair. It's not going to happen. Ian Matthews says, you're lucky to have hair. Well, that is true. Thank you very much, even though my children regularly remind me that it's going grey. Not going grey, has gone grey. And I regularly remind them that it wasn't grey before they were born. So, right, Kim Salt says, N Salt just up ahead is not a relation, so it's just a random salt. Always like a bit of random salt. Rob Harrison says, I've signed up to the Shepherdine half marathon on the 26th of April in Gloucestershire. Is it South Gloucestershire, Rob? First in the real world run for a long time. Yeah, I've got a half marathon on the 25th, so my half marathon on the 25th, and then Rob Harrison's half marathon on the 26th of April. Neil Messenger did paintballing yesterday, and he's got bruises on his arms and legs. Yeah, I've only done paintballing once, and I had exactly the same. Massive bruises on my legs, particularly. One on my shoulder, I seem to remember. Right, Jeff Partridge says, my wife has been doing my hair with clippers all year. Yeah, but don't you just have a number 1 all the way across, Jeff? Sarah Cleaver says, how do you get the hanging speed sign on the front of the runners? Is that a setting? No, that is when you are in an event or when you're in a workout, Sarah. That is automatically there. So in a group workout, that is called a pace bot, and the pace bot hangs above your head when you're doing the run, telling you what pace you should go. Now, what often happens is if you run a bit faster, you can leave that pace bot behind because that pace bot sticks rigidly to the speed that you should be going. Although sometimes it seems to kind of speed up or slow down round corners, but in general, it sticks rigidly to the pace that you're supposed to be going. So if you go any faster than that, you will leave the pace bot behind. Johannes, hello Johannes. He says, nice run this morning. Would love to do a race too. Looking forward to race in May again. Long rehab from injury in November, and well done Victoria, says Johannes. Thank you very much. Don't forget, Johannes regularly runs with us on Friday evening at the Video 5K, so please come and join us on Friday. I'm not sure what time it is on Friday. Sorry, just punched Victoria in the elbow. Let's have a look and see if if it's back to normal for Friday, because it was quite late on Friday this last week. But we love to have you running with us the video 5k, so come and join us next Friday. I can see Clive Finnimore is running. Adrian Mutzes is running at the moment as well. Right, let's scroll down to Wednesday, Thursday, right, Friday. Yeah, unfortunately, the video 5k is still at 9:05 on Friday. Yeah, Kim Salt says it looks like it's late again. Yeah, Friday is 9:05, so I apologise for that. There's not a lot we can do about it at the moment, but it is at 9:05. Hopefully, the week after that, it will be back. Tina Beard says maintenance tonight, so it should change later on. Yes, actually, you're right, Tina. The last time that happened, it did change back. So we'll have a look later on this evening and see, or tomorrow, and we'll see if the run has changed back to 8:05. Oh, controversial from Jonathan. Jonathan says, women, not Victoria and Carol, of course, are often very naughty and leave the pace spot behind, hence they don't see it. Men tend to stick to the rules more. Oh, right, hang on a minute. Is Carol going to slap Jonathan across the head for that? Right, now, Shepherdine is in South Gloucestershire, apparently, says Jeff. Shepherdine, not sure, still. Oh, right, Jeff has a number 2 on the back and the sides and a number 4 over the top. I just wouldn't trust you with the clippers. She'd joke and she'd just do some silly shape in my hair. Oh, okay. Victoria's never forgiven me for chopping a load off her hair when she asked me to just take half an inch off or something. Right, look, you should be getting tired out here. You're nearly 5 kilometres in. No, you're 4 kilometres in, yeah, so under 5 kilometres to go. Gradually increasing the pace every kilometre. We're up to 11.2 kilometres per hour now. What's your heart rate like? Heart rate 141, so comfortably in zone 3. We don't do zone 3, as you all know, but occasionally it can't be avoided. And Monday Run Club is one of those runs which is neither fast nor slow. So it's not an easy run. It's not a super fast run. It's a relatively comfortable start to the week. So you're always going to be in zone 3 for this run, really. Dan Mapp says, nice work on the PB 5k. Stephen, did you run yourself? Yes, I did, Dan. You might have noticed there was a massive lack of commentary on the video footage in race 4, and that's because I was actually racing in race 4. So, getting my own PB, yeah. It was quite a few people watching that stream this morning. At one point, we had well over 100 people watching that live stream, so that was quite good. So we'll try and build that up a bit. We'll do a few more of those PB 5Ks, and we'll do some of the Worthing Harriers track events as well. There's a track event in Worthing on the 18th of this month. So we'll be live streaming that. And then there's another PB 5k at the end of the month, I think. So we'll be up there for that, and I won't be running in that one, so I shall stream that. Right, Jonathan Cost makes a very good point here. He says, if you do a PB in Shepherdine, does it count? Because obviously South Gloucestershire doesn't exist. So do any races in South Gloucestershire actually count? It's a vexing question, and we need to put it to somebody in authority who knows about these things. Tim Gross will be able to tell us. Yes, 4.5 kilometres run now for Victoria, and we are still in 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th kilometre. Yeah, so it's obviously it's just kilometres all the way. So halfway through this one, the next one is 11.5 kilometres per hour. Tina Beard says hello to Amy. Jeff Partridge says hello to Amy. Amy says hi everyone. And amazingly, Amy Green has just been for a run outside. I don't know about that, Dan. Dan says, great work. The BBC will be calling you for a commentary spot soon. I don't think so. This morning, to be honest, it was a bit of a panic this morning because the way I wanted to stream didn't happen. I had quite bad internet to start with, and I had to change the technical way I was streaming. I had to do it via a different route, and it was a bit of a panic first thing. And then also, obviously, I had on my mind that I had to warm up and do my run, so I had racing on my mind as well. So I wasn't really concentrating very much on the stream itself. Ideally, I would have gone around chatting and interviewing people, but I was worried that the stream quality wouldn't be good enough. So I didn't do all that stuff. But maybe next time I'll be a bit more confident with it, and we'll go around doing a little more chatting to runners. Neil Messenger says I'll be using the gym treadmill next week when it opens. Yeah, gyms are opening next week. Mark says he tried to watch this morning's PB 5k event on YouTube this morning, but the stream never launched. Yes, I know, and there was nothing I could do. Well, there would have been something I could do about it if I'd had access to my laptop and could spend a bit of time working it out, but I couldn't. It just wouldn't load, and I had to, like I said, I had to go about it a different way. So it was on Facebook, but it wasn't on YouTube. But next time I'll try and make sure that it is on YouTube. I've been fiddling about with it this afternoon, so the next time we do a live commentary from a real world event like the PB 5k, we will make sure it's on YouTube as well, Mark. Steve Milne says, I try to run slow and comfortable pace, but it always goes into zone 3. Steve, you have to be very disciplined, and you just, unfortunately, until you get that level of fitness, if you move into zone 3 and you're trying to do a very easy, comfortable run, you have to slow down. And if that means walking, then walk until it goes into zone 2 or zone 1, and then start gently jogging again. And eventually, as time goes by, the more miles you do, the more time you spend doing those zone 1, zone 2 runs, the more comfortable your heart rate will get at doing those. But also, you have to do this. You have to do the fast stuff as well. So you do have to keep doing fast interval sessions to help your heart, help your VO2 max, help your threshold heart rate, so that when you do those slower runs, your heart rate stays nice and low. It's just about consistency and volume, and just keep doing it. Steve. Jonathan Cost says, where is it on Facebook? You need to look. Are you talking about the run from this morning? The stream from this morning is on a Facebook page called PB 5k. So type into Facebook PB 5k, all no spaces. So PB 5k. That's the name of the event. So when I say PB 5k, I'm not talking about my run. I'm talking about the name of the event. I'm not mentioning it again. I reckon you and Tina Beard have had a little wager to see how many times you can get me to mention my 5k PB this morning. Right, we're into kilometre number 6 now. 5.3 kilometres done. Victoria is at 11.5 kilometres per hour and approaching the last 3 kilometres of the run. Heart rate is 147, so comfortably in zone 3. Rob Harrison says, each mention of the PB, £5 into the Zwift beer fund for the rest of us. Jonathan Cost, no, it wasn't on the Film My Run Facebook page. It will be, next time I do a live stream like that, it will be on the Film My Run YouTube channel. but not on the Film My Run Facebook page. It will be on the Facebook page of whatever organisation I'm working for. So whether it's Worthing Harriers, whether it's Run Through, whether it's PB 5K, Run Base events, there are a few different companies that I'm working with or kind of trying to work with. Rob Harrison reckons I owe 50 quid so far to the beer fund. Right, Jonathan says Victoria looks way too comfortable. So, all she can do is stick to the rules. I did tell her she would be able to do Group A, but she was convinced she wouldn't be able to do it. Did you see? Well, there was a girl this morning who vomited twice in the last 100 metres of her race. Yeah, this morning on the PB 5Ks. Right, so Carol Rushworth is still just ahead of Victoria. It's not a race. It isn't a race. She's not trying to catch or anything. It's just sticking to the instructions, working with each other to get through the run. So yes, Jonathan, it will hopefully be on Film My Run's YouTube channel next time. So the 18th of April is the next time we're doing a live streamed event like that, and that will be from Worthing Track. But we'll have runners. It's a track meet, so we'll have runners from all over the southeast and London coming down to Worthing to run on the track at Worthing. Christina says nice on Facebook, on YouTube, thank you. Carol says I have no discipline. Jeff Partridge says it's always all about Stephen. What do you expect? You don't. Right, listen. You don't live stream literally every day of the week if you don't have an ego, do you? You know, I've got to be honest about it. If I was the shy retiring type, I wouldn't do a live stream almost every single night of the week. And in the mornings. Tomorrow morning, don't forget the Film My Run 500. Remember, the Film My Run 500, 10:35. Oh, actually, if there's right now, we'll have to see tomorrow morning if it's 9:35 or 10:35. Who knows? With the maintenance going on tonight, it might change. So keep your eyes open. If you want to do the Film My Run 500 climb in the morning, sign up for it, but then double check first thing in the morning what time it is. It could be 9:35 or it could be 10:35. Jeff Partridge says, can't beat a trip on the Vomit Comet. Yeah, this poor girl. She turned into the final straight this morning, right by my camera. If you can be bothered to watch through the whole thing, at some point you will see a girl pass my camera and then throw up about 5 meters away from my camera and then throw up again just before she hits the finish line. She must have put a real hard effort in. Yeah, if you're not sick in the final straight, you haven't worked hard enough. Sarah Cleaver says, does the camera light give off extra heat? Which camera light are we talking about, Sarah? We've got lights up here, but they're LED lights and they don't give off heat. Mostly these days, people are using LEDs, and LEDs do not heat up the room. The computers heat up the room, though. The fans and the graphics cards and the processors in the computer do make the room warmer, and the runners warmer. Rob Harrison will be joining us for the Film My Run 500 tomorrow, as long as it's 10:35. Okay, thank you, Rob. Jonathan Koss says, regarding the air conditioning, are you going to moan about it all summer until I eventually buy it for you? The thing is, it's not right. The only thing we worry about in the summer is the neighbours. In the winter, I worry about it more because not only have we got the neighbours to worry about, but it's also freezing cold. In the summertime, we can open the windows, the doors, and have the fan on, and it's not too bad in terms of heat. The only thing we really worry about in the summer is disturbing the neighbours. It can get pretty warm. Yeah, it can get warm. I guess we'll try, and we are still considering the aircon. We are definitely doing that. Amy says that my legs were moving, but I didn't feel like I was moving on my run. Well, at least you got out there, Amy. Getting outside is good. We love Zwift. Zwift is a great community, and it's great to run on with other people. But you can't beat outside, and that's me as a Zwift ambassador. And Zwift themselves, Zwift HQ they don't want everyone to run on the treadmill all the time. They do want people to mix Zwift into their training. So outdoor training, indoor training, mix it all up. Get those outdoor runs in. Especially when you're training for ultras and mountain races where you're going to be doing hard climbing, but also hard, fast downhill running. Unless you've got a very swanky treadmill that does downhill, you need to get that downhill training in. So you can only do that outside. So get out there, and when it's lovely and sunny, you can't beat a beautiful run along the seafront or getting up on the hills in the countryside and running under those blue skies and that sunshine. Yeah, absolutely. Some people, if your choice is to run on the treadmill all the time, that's absolutely fine, and there may be very good reasons why you only run on the treadmill, and that is absolutely fine. Victoria now at 2.2 kilometres left to run. She's at 11.7 kilometres an hour. Heart rate is climbing slowly, 151 BPM, but still comfortably in zone 3, gradually moving towards zone 4. Might get there in the last kilometre, we'll just have to see. Mark says, great running, Victoria. Amy, how was your vision for the first 100 metres? Was it a bit wobbly? Jeff Partridge went for a run on Dartmoor on Saturday. He says, I realise how out of practice I am at running on the trails. Yeah, this is the thing. You spend a lot of time on the treadmill, which is great, but there's nothing to beat sometimes just getting that feel for running on uneven terrain, minding all those rocks and keeping you... One thing you can do on the treadmill, which is you can watch the screen in front of you, head up. So expanding your lungs, keeping your head up and looking out ahead of you. When you're on a trail run, one of the things that you have to do most of the time, a lot of the time, is look at the ground. Roots, tree roots, rocks, uneven terrain. If you don't look at the ground and you're going pretty fast, you can kick a rock, you can trip on a tree root, and before you know it, you're flat on your face and you've got a broken nose or a crack to your forehead. You have to look at the ground, which sometimes means you do miss the beautiful views, and sometimes you have to stop or slow right down and lift your head up and look at the beautiful views, take in the fresh air and the scenery. But if you're in a race, a lot of the time you completely miss the views because your eyes are looking down at the ground. Jeff Partridge says, looking ahead on the treadmill and not rotating your body. Arms moving forward. Heart rate 154 now for Victoria, but still in zone 3. Neil Messenger says, well done, Victoria, great running. Victoria has just over a mile to go. Ian Matthews' races are at the end of November. That's a long while to wait, Ian, before your races. I think we've got a few races before then. South Downs Way 100 is in June. We've got the half marathon at the end of this month. I'm worried about going abroad. I'm not sure we're going to manage to make it abroad. My friend Richard and I have got a race in the Pyrenees in July, but we don't think we're going to make it to that because, I mean, it'll be fine for the UK, but Spain and France, with the third wave that they have currently going on, it is going to be touch and go whether we make it out there and whether those races go ahead. And even the UTMB week at the end of August out to Chamonix in France is already looking decidedly dodgy. So whether we get out there is another matter. Carol's HR is about the same as Victoria's, says Jonathan. That's good. So both of you are doing really well with just 1.5 kilometres to go now of the Monday Run Club. Only half a kilometre of hard work and then start cooling down. Ian says, read above post, Steve. Okay, can you do another Run 500 group sessions about October for me too? Yes, Ian, I don't think we're going to stop them. I think we're just going to keep them going, to be honest, at the moment. It depends. If numbers really drop off over the summer, we'll see. But I think we have plans to keep the runs going all the way through the summer, because I've got hilly ultra runs to train for, and you guys have as well. So fingers crossed, we'll keep those runs going. TDS, right? Jeff Partridge says TDS will be fine. Trust me. Okay. Have you got inside knowledge that we don't know about? Because France are really suffering at the moment. They are in lockdown, aren't they? How long will it take for France to come out of lockdown? Right, he says, only because I've booked a UK holiday in parallel just in case. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, Luis Santos says, definitely sceptical about Val d'Aran in July, as well as Stephen. Suppose we'll have to settle for some great UK trail running. Yes, Louis. So Louis is a friend of mine, run the Arc of Attrition with me and Jeff a couple of years ago. And he is going to do Val d'Aran, which is a 100-mile race in the Pyrenees in July, which is what me and Richard are going to do. And we are worried that that's not going to happen, yeah. Louis, did you do Transvolcania as well? Can't remember. Buenaventura says, how is it going, Jonathan? Looking forward to taking a run with you together. Jonathan says, still taking it easy with the left leg. Paul Hayward, just a stage 2 short run today, fast and progressive for me. Well done, Paul, good job. Victoria is just coming to the end of the hard effort now and will be into cool down. Yeah, Victoria, actually, talking about being sick, Victoria, you know my Film My Run 500, I loaded it onto... you're not slowing down at all. Carry on at the same speed. Victoria actually did my Film My Run 500 climb on her own the other day, and was doing fine until the last 200 metres, and then jumped. She held it in until she crossed the line, jumped off the treadmill and threw up in the rose bushes. Okay, Jeff is convinced that France will have had all our vaccines by August. Okay. Right, Ian Matthews says, we are inundated with tourists here in Penzance. The roads are clogged, nowhere is open, they're just driving around. Well, yeah, I suppose because that restriction on travel has been lifted to some degree, hasn't it? So people can travel now. But yeah, because nowhere's open still, then it's ridiculous, isn't it? Okay, Victoria wants to know if you have a special name for tourists in Cornwall, because in Dorset, apparently, my wife says, tourists are called grockles. So do you have a special name for tourists in Cornwall? Could be, I don't know. Louis says he hasn't done Transvolcania, but he has done Trans Gran Canaria. Right, Tina says there's a lot of anti-vaxxers in France. Oh, so that's worrying as well. if there's a lot of people who don't want to be vaccinated, that's going to hold things up as well, isn't it? Well, look, we just have to have our fingers crossed for Chamonix UTMB week at the end of August. Victoria's just on the cool down now. So a nice, comfortable Zone 3 run for Victoria. Yeah, Amy says, I just want something to look forward to in the summer. I mean, there will be plenty of UK races. So just book yourself in the UK. Amy, I'm still thinking about the four of us. So you, Jeff, me and Clive all doing a long distance race at some point in the summer, whether it's a 50 miler or something, or 100. So keep your training up, Amy, because at some point I'm gonna throw something up at you, like a race in July or August that we should do. You're still at 11.4, Victoria. Can't stop yet. You've still got 400 metres to go. 11.1 now. Right, okay, Tina says they're still called grockles in Devon. So tourists are called grockles in Dorset and Devon. Is there a special name for tourists in Cornwall? Paul Hayward says, I find it hard to run at a slow pace outside. Victoria says she doesn't. Right, Jonathan says, oh, here he goes again with his new friends get together. Yeah, Jonathan, I've got some new friends. Have you you seen the In-Betweeners? What new friends? Right, they're called emmets in Cornwall. What, loads of very rich second homeowners? Emmets. Yeah. Oh right, apparently an emmet in Dorset is an ant, like an anthill. Paul Hayward says, well done, Victoria, good run. Amy's not looking forward to a run, she's just looking forward to some sunshine. Well, tough, Amy. At some point you will get a message saying, we're doing this, and you've got no choice but to join us for it. I apologise in advance, but you are running outdoors with us, a 50 miler or some such, at some point. Buenaventura wants you to finish he wants you to finish Monday Run Club with the pace bot behind you. I think we're too late for that. Coming to the end of Monday Run Club, slowing down 10.5 kilometres an hour. Victoria has finished with the pace bot just in front of her. She's a good girl, she says. Amy says, great running, Victoria. And there we are, Monday Run Club done and dusted. I am not running later on. That is it from us. I'm not telling you why I'm not running. I've already run today. I've done my run for the day. Steve Milne says, well done, Victoria. Right, thank you very much for watching on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch. We're going to have a nice, relaxing, quiet evening now in front of the TV and have some dinner. Oh, blimey. Right, Carol says, I think if I'd carried on at 12 kilometres an hour, I would have got a PB. A lot of people say this about Monday Run Club, don't they? Or is it Wednesday workout that is good for kind of mid-paced runners to get PBs? Okay, Victoria reckons she got a PB in a Monday Run Club once, but she thinks it was a lot. Her word is punchier. You mean faster? Okay. Right, so that's it from us. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, I'll be back tomorrow morning. It remains to be seen whether it's 9:35 or 10:35. If you are planning on running it in the morning, please do check first thing what time it's at, because you never know. tomorrow morning it might suddenly have changed to 9:35. Currently, Film My Run 500 is at 10:35. But wake up early, check the companion app, because it might have changed by the morning to 9:35. Steve Milne says goodbye. What did Jonathan say last week? Oh, he said it last week about PBs. Yes. Mark says, well done, Victoria. Ian says, see you all tomorrow. Ace Ventura, see you soon. And Amy, bye-bye, Film My Run friends. Have a good evening. Yes, we will. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the chat, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.